This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexi Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey everybody, this is Lexi Luxx, the Toxic Bitch, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for entering all your favorite wrestling every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and CastBox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with... She is a Jersey girl, Kitty Mama, 5 foot of fucked up, the queen of mean, the queen of crimson mask, the toxic gut bits, the one and only Lexi Luxx.
Hey everybody, it's Lexi, the Toxic Bitch. If you want to know what I'm up to, you can follow me on Lexi Luxx _ pro wrestler, and that is LEXILUXX _ pro wrestler, and you'll get to see what I'm up to.
And that's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, correct?
It's at least on Instagram and Facebook. I don't really use my Twitter that much.
Well,
I've abandoned it for like 2 years.
Either way, all of the links to all your social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and CastBox.
Okay, perfect.
Let's get into it. You work for PPW and Freedom Pro. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
Yeah, so Freedom Pro is a child-friendly federation, and I worked there a few times, and it's lovely. It's hard to be child-friendly, I guess, because my character and gimmick, Lexi, is not really child-friendly.
Right.
Yeah, so I was actually through Freedom that I met the booker of PPW, and he absolutely fell in love with Lexi Luxx and the way I am, the way I look, and my character work, so he ended up taking me over to Poland for PPW.
Poland, is that the first time you've been out of Sweden?
No, I've been to Denmark and Finland also, but never Poland. I've only been within the Scandinavia. So it was very exciting to get to travel and see a different country and see how the wrestling fans are there. So it was great.
Was there a difference between Poland wrestling and Sweden wrestling?
Oh yeah, Poland was much more underground, and the fans were super rowdy, super loud, and really into the show, which I, as a wrestler, absolutely love, because, I mean, it's not a show without a good audience, and they were absolutely great there. Sweden is great too, but they're a little bit more chill and low-key, if you put it that way.
It sounds very like underground rock-esque.
Oh yeah, a lot. I felt very at home there because, as most people know, I have a very goth aesthetic, and I was among punk rockers, goths, and metalheads, and it just felt like home to me.
And anybody that knows the show, We Love Food. What are you eating in Poland?
Well, I was staying with vegans, so I was just eating a bunch of vegan food. A lot of vegan tortillas and no meat. So I hadn't eaten meat for 3 days, so when I got back home, I ate so much meat.
That just seems like a missed opportunity to me.
Yeah, I mean, but I want it to be respectful for my host. I don't want to be that person who brings me into a vegan household and starts cooking it. So, and I was only there for 3 days, so I did not have much time to venture out and try anything different. So it was pretty much vegan food. It was really good vegan food, but vegan food.
Alright. Now, you were a part of the first ever women's hardcore match in Copenhagen. I believe it was
Yes.
Rubi Roberts. You know,
Yes.
in a world where there isn't a lot of firsts anymore, what did it mean to you to be the first to have a hardcore match in Copenhagen?
So it meant a lot to me. I've always, since I started my career, been into hardcore and death matches. I just found an appeal in it for some reason. Call me crazy, but I guess I am. So I was very honored to have the opportunity to be the first, and also was very honored to get to work with Ruby. She is amazing, both in the ring and outside of the ring. We are still good friends till this day. And I do like making history, just like I did in PPW with the first ever intergender hardcore match that's ever taken place in Poland. So that was also pretty cool.
We'll get to that in a moment. But I mean, if it's fantastic you say you're still friends with Ruby because the match did get a little out of hand, no?
Yes, I broke my nose and got a concussion. that happened, but it was fine. I mean, it was an accident, and in this business, you can get hurt. You know the risks you're taking, and we joke about it all the time, me and Ruby. And I'm actually going to be staying with her when I go to Scotland this August. So it's going to be really fun to catch up.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yes.
Obviously, shout out to Ruby, friend of the show.
Yes.
Alright, you did mention it. I believe that match, the intergender match, was against Johnny Blade.
Yes, it was.
Can you tell us about that experience?
It was great. The only hard part of it, I guess, was our language barrier. It was the communication. It worked well, but it was still hard at the beginning.
Okay.
But we got it down, and he's super easy to work in the ring, and it just had a really good experience. I did not know what to expect. I had only seen a few of his matches on YouTube, so I did not know what to expect going into the ring with him, and I ended up being very pleased and happy with how it all turned out.
And the extent of your injuries after that match?
Actually, not bad at all. A few bruises and a few cuts, and that's pretty much it. No, nothing broken, no concussions. So I'd say it went really well. And I mean, scrapes and bruises and a few little bloody areas are a guarantee in hardcore matches. So
I would definitely say that was a better experience.
oh yeah, it was. But I still value the first experience very much because it was basically the taking of my virginity in the hardcore scene. And I mean, as bad as it sounds, those injuries result in some really fun memories that you get to talk about. And me and Ruby, we always joke about it. And yeah, it's a fun time, I guess. It sounds really stupid to say that because I got hurt, but it was fun to me. I value it very highly.
No, I completely understand what you're talking about. Is there a difference between doing a hardcore match with another female competitor rather than a male?
So I don't think so, personally,
Okay.
because I am very used to doing intergender matches in general. That is a very normal occurrence to me. But the difference, I guess, I noticed was that when you do the intergender match, there is people who will frown upon it.
Right.
Because in their world, a male should not hit a female.
Right.
Or that the people will think I am too weak to go against a male.
Well, we've been talking.
That's like the common occurrence.
Right, yeah. But you're never not going to get that when it comes to intergender wrestling, unfortunately.
Exactly. It's just, you just gotta take it.
Right. Talking about hardcore matches, is there something you won't do in a hardcore match, or something you have done but then said never again?
Honestly, no. I'm pretty much open to anything as long as it can be done safely. The one thing I'm like scared of, I guess, that I do it, but I think I'm just like scared because I don't know how it would work, would be light tubes or fluorescent lights, because they shatter in a way that you should not inhale the dust, and I feel like that would be hard to remember when you're in the middle of a match full of adrenaline.
Right.
I'd probably end up breathing that shit in, so. But I'm pretty much I'm not really scared of anything that could hurt me in a ring. So I just probably just go with it if I feel like it's safe enough.
Have you ever seen the match between DJ Hyde and Thumbtack Jack?
I actually haven't. Was it brutal?
I would seriously consider watching that match first, and then consider what you will and won't do in a death match.
So I can hear already. It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience. It's definitely like, how could you do something like that?
Well, I mean, I have like a lot of my coworkers at my day job. They see pictures on my Facebook and they see me coming to work with bruises and cuts, and they're like, "Why do you do this to yourself?"
Oh yeah.
And there's no correct answer to that, because if you're into hardcore death matches, you're kind of probably not all there up in your brain, I guess, because you willingly go out. Like, I willingly went to Poland to get stapled by a staple gun and hit with barbed wire.
Ooh.
I mean, it was great. It was fine. But, like, people who are not wrestlers and are not into the hardcore scene, they frown upon it. Like, they're not very understanding of why I would do that to myself.
I feel like you would have a really good time in America, because we have more than a few deathmatch girls down here that are very open to the deathmatch scene.
Oh, lovely. I really want to go back to my home country and wrestle one day. I'm hoping that is in the cards soon, because it would just be great to be able to go back home and, yeah.
I believe New Jersey has H2O, which is a deathmatch, essentially a deathmatch company.
Oh, perfect. I guess I'll have to send my CV there. Because I do want to go back to Jersey, and I do know I have a friend in Jersey who enjoys wrestling, and she always sees my pictures, and she just wants to be able to see it live. And that's kind of hard for her to do when we're on the other side of the ocean.
Right.
So I would hope to go to Jersey and then have her be my +1 to the show and just let her see me wrestle live, because I think she'd love that. That'd be super fun.
Like I said, you are in Sweden.
Yes.
What was the pandemic like there? Because in America it was very chaotic. In Canada it was even worse. So how did it affect pro wrestling in Sweden?
So I actually did my debut during the pandemic, which was lovely because it was in front of like 30 people. I mean, it was an experience. It was rough. We couldn't have we could only have house shows with only friends and family, like the closest people, and everybody had to have like a negative test. So it did do some damage, I guess. But I see it as a great experience of learning that if I can work a crowd of 30, then it's going to be so much easier to work a full crowd once everything is back to normal. And it helped me a lot.
How long did that last?
About a year, I'd say. Honestly, that whole time is kind of a blur because everything was just crazy.
Right.
So I think it was a year, and then we got to start opening up to like bigger shows and stuff. It was like as soon as the vaccine started pumping out
Okay.
and people started getting vaccinated, then it was that we were able to have a bigger venue and more people if you had like valid vaccination proof.
Okay. It sounds like it didn't. The pandemic didn't hit Sweden as hard as the rest of the world, which is great.
Yeah, it is, and I think like especially with the wrestling scene, I mean, it's not really big here in Sweden, wrestling. So even if we did get like hit by it in a way, it wasn't as noticeable as it would be in the countries where it is more of a thing, like America or Japan or
Right.
Canada even.
All right. Can you tell us how many times has the companies that you worked for got your name right on the poster?
Oh shit. Actually, not a lot of times. My two the main places I've been to, which is SWS and Stockholm Wrestling, they always get it right. Freedom, no. PPW, no. CCW, I don't think they did either. So, Body Slam got me correct at least, so that was nice. Like a lot of people like to add an X or an I.
Yes, and it's not. I've seen Lexi with two X's, Lux with one X.
Yeah, yeah. And I've just made it like a running work that every time they get it wrong, when I like post something with the wrong name, I will just like make a mockery of the company.
Right. I mean, that's an important
As a
part.
heel should,
But I mean,
because they always get it wrong, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
it's an important part
Yeah.
of promoting yourself is having your name right on a poster. Because if other people see it and they Google your name and it's not actually you, that's not
Yeah.
a good thing. All right. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually an issue.
Now, you did a seminar with Jimmy Rave. Um,
Yes, an online seminar.
what was that like? Because Jimmy, unfortunately has passed away.
Yeah, I
So
was really sad to hear that.
what was your experience with him like?
He was great. I learned a lot of things of just general, not just actual wrestling, but also like backstage politics and everything else. And I really, really enjoyed the seminar with him. And when he passed, it actually was hard because it was not long before that I had actually had the seminar and like seen him. So it was very sad, but the experience was very good. He's a great mentor, or was a great mentor.
Now, one of your wrestling favorites is Angelina Love,
Yes.
and she actually responded to one of your tweets.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
I just like, I didn't think she was going to ever see it. And then she did, and I freaked out. I was very excited because I absolutely loved her and Velvet Sky in TNA. So that was big, and I got very starstruck, if we put it that way. Yes, I was very starstruck. I would never in a billion years think that she would end up seeing my tweet and answering me, so that was super cool.
Alright. And now, and just to say about the beautiful people, like, super underrated. And definitely
Yeah.
underappreciated. When I was
Oh,
watching
yeah.
Impact, I did not appreciate them as much as I should have back then.
Yeah, they're great. Like, I really enjoy, like, the whole 90s feel. I love their gear. I love the way they wrestle, the aggression. It was absolute, like, I just loved watching their matches so much.
Like, before there was the Women's Revolution, there was TNA. And TNA
Yeah.
did it before anybody else did it. And
Yeah,
that's one thing they don't get credit for.
exactly. But it's because everybody wants to say that TNA was obviously tits and ass. And yeah, the girls were, like, lightly dressed, but they still wrestled and had talent.
Oh, yeah. They showed what women's wrestling could be before anybody else really showed it.
Exactly. So they were trailblazers for women like me,
Oh, yeah.
and I highly, highly appreciate that.
Alright, can you tell us about the seminar you did with Mikey Whipwreck?
That was also a very good seminar because I do know that he likes hardcore, so it was very interesting for me to listen to. I kept having bad reception on that one, so I don't have much to say, but he was very friendly, and he even told us that if we were anywhere near New York, to just shoot him a DM on Twitter, and he will do some actual live training. So that's pretty cool.
That's
That he'd be down to do that. Yeah. So that was really nice.
And Mikey is actually my co-host, his trainer as well. So there's a
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. I'd love to be trained by him one day. That would be super, like, a really cool thing to happen.
Yeah. As far as I know, it was a good experience with Mikey. And Pat Buck, if you know him from AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
It's awesome.
I think that's a good segue into our next segment. Lexi's
Yes.
Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us
Yes.
a road story that fits that description?
Actually, this was actually fairly new, so this was going to be fun. It was actually in Poland. So, me and my host and his partner were going to take an Uber home from the show, and we got into a car accident.
Ooh.
So it was very bizarre to get into a car accident right after doing a ultra-violent match. So that happened, and that is when I learned that authorities are pretty darn corrupt in Poland, so we ended up walking together in the rain at 3 a.m. on the highway in Warsaw all the way home.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's probably my craziest, like, wrestling road story, I guess, because that was just bizarre.
Was it like a long walk?
40 minutes?
Okay, so not exactly bad, but not exactly great when you're in the rain.
Yeah, no, but we were happy that we were three of us and we were together, so we made the time go by quickly by just talking about the show and just enjoying each other's company for the little 40-minute walk.
Alright, well that's definitely a bizarre adventure to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. That is probably the most bizarre thing that's happened on the road, and that was also so recent, so it was a very good question to bring up so I could tell you about it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a feature on you in the newspaper, 4 pages.
Yeah, there has been I've been in the newspaper twice and in a magazine once. That's pretty cool.
I mean, what does that mean to you? Because, like, okay, it's one thing to be on like an internet page, but when it's actually
Yeah.
in print, that's a little. I feel like that's a little bit more, no?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always get a copy and save it, for scrapbooking or whatever. I don't scrapbook, but if I would scrapbook, I could use it. And I like to have it. And I really like that I can help pro wrestling become a thing in Sweden through my interviews. Like, it is a thing, but like bigger thing. So more people know about it. And I also, through the newspapers, I've become like, within the prints I've been in, I am a mental health advocate. So that is pretty cool to be a wrestler who can also advocate for mental health.
Right. And I mean, you don't have to scrapbook, but you can put it like in a frame.
Exactly. I think that's more me. I don't feel like the scrapbook kind of person.
Right. Right. Can you tell us the significance of your tattoo, the I'm a survivor in more ways than you know?
So, actually, that tattoo is covered up at the moment. We are working on a new sleeve on that arm, so it was kind of wonky and it wasn't my favorite. So we ended up just covering it up, but it does mean something to me, and I have similar tattoos that I haven't covered up, and it's because I suffer from bipolar disorder, and I have attempted to commit suicide several times, and have had a really, really long, hard battle with eating disorders and self-harm. So I did that tattoo on my arm to remind me that I am strong and a survivor. And yeah, it sounds stupid, but it's what it meant. Yeah. It sounds stupid now when I'm trying to say it back.
Not at all. Definitely not at all. But you did mention that you are bipolar.
Yes.
How has that hindered your career, and in any way has it helped?
Well, I do take medications for my bipolar disorder, so it doesn't do a lot. I would say, like, it doesn't like damage that much, and yeah. But wrestling does keep me more stable because I enjoy doing it and I get happy, and yeah, I feel joy from it. It has hindered my career sometimes, and that is not just necessarily in the ring, but it can be backstage, or it could be like walking around talking to people. I don't have a filter, and if I think something, I will say it, even if it is inappropriate, and that has caused some minor conflicts, but I've usually realized what was going on and apologized and sorted my shit out, because yeah, it's not an excuse that I'm bipolar and can say whatever I want, and I know that, but it is also a reason.
But wrestling has, helped with all
Oh
of
yeah,
this.
yes, wrestling has helped, and wrestling has also helped my self harm, because I don't feel the need to harm myself as an outlet for what I'm feeling inside, when I can just go to wrestling training and take a few bumps and I'm good as new.
You're like, hey, Ruby, beat me up.
Exactly. Just keep breaking my nose again. I really need it.
Let's go back to tattoos. You mentioned that you covered up that tattoo. You're getting a new sleeve. And
Yes.
what are you getting?
So we're working on my sleeve, which is a black metal and a death metal inspired. So I have currently two artists. I have Marilyn Manson and I have Dead from Mayhem. And I have also two pieces from one of my absolute favorite artists. And he gave me actual permission to use his artwork on my skin, so that's really cool.
Wow.
He does a lot of paintings in his own blood and very black metal inspired, and I absolutely love them. So I'm very pleased to be able to get to put his art on my body forever.
What was the longest one to get?
Ooh. That would probably be my knee tattoo because I kept twitching and kicking my artist.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it was fine because my tattoo artist is my best friend. He is the absolute best, and he does all my tattoos because I don't want to go to anybody but him.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess it's fine that I kicked him, but still, you don't realize how many nerve endings you have in your kneecap until you actually try to get it tattooed. So it took quite a while until we figured out that we were going to have to end the session, and I had to get numbing cream to use for the next one because I could not sit still.
Alright. Is there any other tattoo that you have that has a special significance to you?
Yes, I have two on my thighs, on each thigh, that they lean in a bit to the mental health, and one of them says that we're all in the same game, just different levels, dealing with the same hell, just different devils. And the other leg says raised from the dead. But then I have two memorial tattoos. My first ever tattoo that I actually got done in America when I was 15 is a rose on my shoulder with the dates of my late grandfather. And then on the front of my chest, I have, or like towards my shoulders, but still chest, I have two Dallas Cowboy stars because that was my family football team growing up. And my dad, he had a big Dallas Cowboy star on his back. So when he passed, I got them on my chest, and my sister got one on her shoulder. So it's a little family tattoo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's really funny because we're from Jersey, but we root for the Cowboys. But you know, I'm not really into American football, but I do what my father says.
Alright. Can you tell us your love of Dungeons and Dragons?
My love of Dungeons and Dragons. I actually don't love it in that way. I absolutely love playing it.
Okay.
Now, actually just I think it was just last year I started doing the D&D role play with my best friend who's my tattoo artist and his fiance and a few other friends. And I absolutely love the whole getting it. I think that's same thing with the wrestling. I love the whole getting into character and working it's a lot of improvisation. I can't even speak, I'm sorry. Improv in it, and I just find it really fun. So ever since I got invited to play with my two best friends and some other people, I just really enjoyed it, and we're actually trying to find a day where we can continue. It's just everybody has different work schedules, so it's super hard.
Right.
But I haven't seen the new movie, but I kind of want to because I really enjoy the fantasy of it.
I haven't seen it yet. It does look good though.
Yeah. I got very offended because my two best friends, they went and saw it without me, so I'm a little upset with them. So Emma and Anton, if you're listening to this, I'm upset with you.
What's your character?
In D&D?
Yeah.
I am a tiefling warlock.
And how long was your last campaign?
I think we did it for 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm not sure. Honestly, I did not even check the time half the time because I was so involved. I was just going for it.
Fair enough. Alright.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your experience playing Cyberpunk 2077?
So I absolutely love the game. There were so many freaking glitches, so many. And I was super hyped because I really like that dystopian but still cyberpunky vibe. I really enjoyed that. I wasn't too into the storyline The side quests were super fun, though. And I really enjoyed the game. I just wish that they maybe had spent a little bit more time on it before they released it. Double checked because there was a lot of issues when it first came out. But I love the whole concept of it, at least.
What console did you play it on?
The new Xbox.
Xbox One or the Xbox X?
I think it was X. It was at my ex's house, so I don't remember what he had. I wasn't allowed to bring it with me.
Okay. Well, when I got the game, I actually waited a year until I got the Xbox X because I knew it wasn't going to play because it was a next gen game that they stupidly released for the generation beforehand. So I knew that it wasn't going to be as fun on there. When I did play it, no glitches, no issues. It was just an incredible experience, honestly.
Well, you're a lucky one then, because I had so many glitches. I had Jackie floating around in the air and shit.
What ending did you get?
I actually haven't finished it because I ended up breaking up with him, and none of my friends, like my besties, Emma and Anton, they don't want to play it because of the bad reviews. So I haven't gotten an ending. They're very nerdy when it comes to their games. So if it has bad reviews, they will not play it. And I am just waiting. I'm gonna probably get myself the new PlayStation or the new Xbox and replay it by myself.
Well, since you're mad at them, maybe they could give you the game as a I'm sorry present.
Exactly. I agree with you because, they went to watch the movies without me. That's not cool.
That being said, you were part of a petition for Sims to get a new color wheel.
I love The Sims. That's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, because the old Sims games, they actually had like a wheel of colors, and you could do whatever color you wanted for like hair and clothing and shit. And then The Sims 4 came out, and it was the most basic game ever. They don't even have freaking cars. I don't understand it. So I was signing a bunch of petitions with The Sims because I am an secret, not so secret, but I say it's secret, but it's not. But I am very into The Sims. I have played it since I was a child, from SimCity to Sims 4. So I want all the good things in it.
Now, is it like when you play Sims? Is it just the basic way of playing the Sims, or are you like locking your Sims into like concrete rooms and letting them die and then reincarnate?
Well, more towards that way because I'm a little psychopathic, I guess, when I play video games, because there is these mods they have that you can mod your Sims game with from the internet, and they have like extreme violence, and you can have your Sims get kidnapped, you can get them beaten, you can have them get like WWE wrestling moves like drop kick to the face, smash with the booty, and just like you can kill your Sims in very creative ways, and it's very fun.
Okay.
That sounds so mentally ill, but I mean, it's better to do it in the game than in real life, I guess.
No, hey, you could do a lot worse things in video games, and odds are you probably have if you've played video games.
Yeah, it's really funny because there's video games where you're meant to just annihilate people, but then if you do it in The Sims, you're scary. It's just such a double standard.
Right. Animal Crossings?
I love Animal Crossing.
Okay, can you
I love that shit. Oh my god, I've played it since I was younger on the Nintendo DS, and now I have it on the Nintendo Switch, and it is the most relaxing game ever. Like, whenever I've had a really bad day at work and bad anxiety or whatever, and I just need to calm down, I'll just, like, get into bed with my cats and play Animal Crossing for hours. It is so relaxing. I love that game.
What is the name of your island?
Lux Isle.
Oh. What
Wait,
is your island's native fruit and flower?
so flower, I haven't figured. I think it's the pansy because that's the only ones I can find. And my native fruit is oranges. I was really hoping for cherries because that is my actual favorite fruit, but right now I just have oranges.
I think that's the second time we've gotten oranges on the show. Oh.
It's like they just spawn in the oranges. They're so basic. It's like, why can't I have cherries? I want cherries.
Who is the most annoying character?
You see, that's where my issue. Me and my best friend Emma, we always discuss this because we play together. She has a Switch and I have a Switch, and we visit each other. And she has pretty much a kill list of villagers. I can't because they look like animals, and I love animals, and I feel bad talking shit about them. So I get a guilty conscience, and it's like I am terrified in real life of birds for some reason. I find birds very scary, like seagulls. Not all birds, but like seagulls and stuff. And the only two villagers on my island right now are just birds. And Emma's like, well, you can get rid of them. I'm like, but that's so mean. I can't do that.
Do you have any of the wrestling memorabilia from the game?
Yes, I have two of the bobblehead ring things. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's like a luchador in a ring, and it's a bobblehead. I have two of those in different colors.
Do you have any?
And
oh, continue.
yeah, the one that I got, the red one I had was actually before when I still lived in a freaking tent. It was Emma, because it was my my Christmas present or birthday present. I can't decide because I'm so close between the Christmas and birthday. Was a Switch and the game, and the first thing she gave to me was one of the wrestling things that she had found and stored in her little house for the longest of time until my birthday. That's super sweet.
That is awesome. Do you have any of the golden tools?
I have the golden shovel. And that was also the gift from Emma. Most of the shit I have is just from her, basically, because I am really bad at starting out with nothing. So I got gifted a lot of nice things from her.
All right. Can you tell us about that time you went to a car graveyard?
A what? Oh, car graveyard. I'm like, a what? Oh yeah, that was super long ago. It was out in Småland, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 7, 8 years ago. And it was super cool. It was just like a giant woods area with a bunch of just rusting cars where there was growing shit out of it. I guess people just dumped their cars there before, and it was really eerie but really cool. The only thing that sucked is we went there in the dead of winter, and winters in Sweden are very cold. But it was super cool experience to see.
How did something like that actually come up? Like, hey, I found this place full of cars go to die. Let's go check it out.
Well, if you're like me and you're into more strange things, than just, doing mini golf or bowling. There's websites for all this shit, like Reddit threads. You could just Google stuff about like weird adventures to do. My next one is there's one here in Sweden. I haven't decided when. I have to con some people into doing it with me. I don't know if they will, but I'm gonna try to con them because we have a cannibal museum here that I really want to go to.
A what museum?
A cannibal museum.
Okay.
So basically, it is completely legal. Basically, this guy is like a tiny little shack, I guess, and he had been, I think it was Africa and other countries where they practice cannibalism, and he got like memorabilia from them to put in his museum.
Okay.
So I really need to see that in person. I really hope to see a shrinked up head or something.
There's a few interesting museums in America as well.
Yes, I am dying to go to the Museum of Death in America. They have it both in LA and New Orleans. I'd love to go to New Orleans because it's all witchy and stuff.
Right.
But I really need to go to the Museum of Death. That is a very high priority on my bucket list.
The one museum that I found interesting was there's this one that it explains how the dinosaurs are actually in the Bible.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Never heard of that before. That is actually very interesting.
Yes. From what I hear, it's completely obscene.
I like obscene things. I mean, I am a big Marilyn Manson fan, so that says a lot.
Considering, all of the things that you're interested, paranormal, do you ever have any paranormal or extracurricular experiences?
Well,
ghost or aliens?
I haven't had any like alien shit, but I feel like I've had ghosts, but I haven't like actually like seen a ghost. I've felt presence of one, and I am an animal lover, and I've had pets who I know how their behavior is, and I've seen them act very, very suspiciously to absolutely nothing, which I just assume it's a ghost. So basically, if my cats are in my bed and they just stare beyond my head, I assume there is a ghost behind me ready to eat me or something.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. If that's how I go, that's how I go.
On your Instagram bio, it says you make good choices.
Yes.
What is a continue.
So a good choice is it's a direct quote from my favorite YouTuber, first of all. But it makes sense because good choices to me are basic things that I think I assume that should be normal for people, but apparently it is not. Good choices are, for example, be respectful, treat others like you want to be treated, and all that kind of shenanigans. And I don't know why, as a heel and very like satanic, I have that on my profile, but I just hear my favorite YouTuber saying it in my head all the time, and I just needed it there to make me feel better about myself. I think.
So make good choices. Don't go see movies that your friend wants to go see with you.
Exactly. That kind of stuff. Apparently Emma and Anton didn't get the memo. I mean, the three of us have been best friends for 3 years, and they still haven't gotten the memo.
All right. Let's go into the colossal question. They're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on the Lexi Luxx movie soundtrack?
Oh shit, you're gonna make this hard for me now. So I'd probably, one of my absolute favorite songs I would have would be Blood Honey by Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
Because I assume my movie should be dark and eerie, like me, so I feel like that one would fit.
Fair enough.
And then I feel like, I'm a very big music junkie, so this became very hard, very fast. Probably, okay, I'm invested now. I'm going on to my Spotify to see which ones are my top favorite at the moment. I listen to music all the time, and I switch favorite song all the time. But I think Blood Honey is definitely a good one. And then I'd probably have Sick Like Me from In This Moment.
Okay.
That would be a good one, because I gotta still think that it has to be me, but also Lexi. And also probably, so I would have those two, and then last but not least, I'd probably have Cold Beer by Jessie Stewart.
Okay.
It is a very interesting mix, but that is like my top songs that have been my favorites for a very long time.
Do you lock those three answers in?
I lock them in.
Okay. Now that we got the soundtrack down, everybody knows you make the soundtrack, then you write the script, and then you get actors.
Yes.
Who would play Lexi? And you can't say yourself because you're obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Oh. Well, I think I just directly say Alexa Bliss then.
Oh, okay.
Alexa Bliss or Lana Del Rey. Yeah. Would have to be one of those two. I mean, Alexa would be perfect because she's the same height as me and she has tattoos, but not as many. But, I mean, there's makeup for that.
Right. That's for the makeup artist to do the makeup.
Yeah, that's not my issue.
Yes, no. You're just making the decisions here. Alright.
Exactly.
Every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be three people in your movie and who would play them?
So 3 people would probably have to be Emma and Anton, obviously, because they're a big part of my life.
Okay.
Anton can be played by Keanu Reeves. I just feel like that's fitting.
Sweet.
Emma, she can be played by. Who would Emma be? You have very hard questions, sir.
We like to keep it interesting.
Yeah. I think we'll go for Keanu Reeves as Anton, and we'll do Emma as Blake Lively.
Okay.
And then we'll have my other bestie, who's also a wrestler, Dan Evans. And who will play Dan Evans? I'm just going to throw it out there because people always say that he looks like him, so I'd say Triple H for Dan Evans.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, very mixed of actresses and wrestlers.
I'm actually interested to see the interaction between Keanu Reeves and Triple H.
I mean, they are like Emma and Anton. They are like fiancés, so they better be good together.
And you ever see that Kenny Omega actually has a picture with Keanu Reeves?
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Either way, this sounds like an incredible movie. You could pre-order the tickets now.
It's coming out in year 666.
On to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it. I do like pineapple and ham pizza, but one thing I will never stand behind is banana on pizza.
Who's putting bananas on their pizza?
Swedish people.
Okay.
Yeah, they do it. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
I can't even speak. Vaporeon, I think you say. I always pronounce it wrong, but I like saying Vaporeon because that's my favorite.
Okay.
I love it. I love that evolution of Eevee.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yes.
Yes.
Vaporeon. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, but the blue one that has the water. That is my description of it.
There you go.
I love that one. Yeah.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
Good. Thug?
THUG. What is the acronym for that?
I have no clue.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
Ah. Yeah, I'm too dumb for that kind of shit. I'm blaming the concussion, okay?
Well, we love the late great Tracy Smothers. We're trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
That's good. It's always good to keep memories alive.
Oh yeah. And the weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual rock.
I would totally wrestle a rock. I would make that a thing. I'd do it good too, I think. So I probably would, yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Well, just for context, there is this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled an actual rock for over 15 minutes in what was called a Tungsten Man match, an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Impressive.
Not that impressive, he did not win the match.
How the fuck did he get pinned by an actual rock, is my question.
It was a very long match, and they tied. It was 319 to 319. And because The Rock was the world champion, and it was a tie, he retained.
I hope they made a tiny belt for it.
Yeah, he has a big one and a little one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, he's a very impressive Rock.
I wish I was that rock.
I mean, you could get trained by that Rock and Josh Alexander if you go down to Canada.
Yeah. One day I'll be as cool as that rock.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully traveling the world with wrestling. Maybe having another cat.
Okay.
And definitely getting a better day job.
Alright. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what Lexi Luxx is all about?
Well, actually, I don't have a lot of matches online to see because I am either shit at getting it filmed or I am shit at figuring out how to get it from the person who had the hard cam. But I would like to say that the two matches I'd recommend would be my match in Body Slam or my PPW match.
Can we find those on YouTube?
Body Slam, I don't know, but PPW, yes, you can. If you go to their YouTube page and you go on the latest show, I don't know Polish, but it's called like Mistro blah 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 something. That one you can see the match against me and Johnny Blade.
Alright, and you don't even have to type in sleep flow blah blah blah. I will go into YouTube archives, I will find that match, and I will put it in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Sounds perfect.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Oh shit, I'm scared.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I think so. I don't know.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Jeff Hardy.
Worst wrestler.
Good. What the fuck is his name? I don't. I absolutely don't remember his name, but who is that? Not Goldberg, the one who was like Goldberg. Yes. I'm just gonna put that out there because I don't like calling anybody shit because they still do it.
Your main event in WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Alexa Bliss.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
The Beautiful People.
Finish this sentence. Kayfabe is...
Shit.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
What?
It's an inside joke.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Veggie.
It is a fruit.
No.
Yes, tomato logic. It has seeds.
Oh, shit.
Yes, but you are a part of Squash Squad now, and that means a lot more.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Fair.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I mean, I'd say men should wear thongs and girls should wear cheekies.
Okay. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I mean, I talk a lot about Darby Allin, but I actually am a very loner when it comes to supermarkets. I don't talk to people. I just get my shit and go.
And that is the correct answer.
Oh.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me, Lexi.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
It was great having you on as well. Can you tell us once again where we can find all things Lexi Luxx on social media?
Absolutely. On Instagram, you can find me on Lexi Luxx _pro wrestler, LEXILUXX _pro wrestler. And it is the same on Facebook, except for instead of an underscore, it is a dash, basically. And that is where you can find me. I don't use Twitter that much. I just use mainly Instagram and Facebook.
And merchandise, not yet?
That is yet to come. Yet to come.
Yet to come.
And when it does, it will be posted on my Instagram.
Okay. And you don't even have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all her social media, even her Twitter, which she rarely uses, will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. Simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you're on, and you will be there. You have no excuse. Give her a damn follow.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at WRESTLINGWITHE, but on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. You can follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, Lexi, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Yes.
For Our very special guest Lexi Luxx, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust. I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment!
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.